Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a fun 7 Scrappy Ladies challenge. So this challenge group series that I am doing with 6 other ladies, we started last month and we did a Project Life challenge. This month we are doing a 12 by 12 challenge, and for this one we were given 8 or 9, I think it was 9 things that we had to include on a layout, and we had to randomly pick 5 of them. So I randomly picked 5, and the 5 that I picked out were acrylic shapes, the color brown, chipboard, floral paper, and a stencil. So you can see here that I have these 2 photos, and they're 2 different sizes. So at first I was thinking I was going to use that pattern paper that's on that smaller photo. That's me and Tinian, and I am going to actually scrap that idea. This layout is going to kind of change from what I'm originally thinking. So you can also see that I have a stencil in the background behind the photos there, and I am going to use that. Okay, so here I'm just cutting down this paper. It's a floral piece of paper, so check mark number 1. And I was thinking I was going to use that floral up against this this yellow, but since I already cut that pattern paper off, I had to kind of jimmy rig it to go back together, and it is quite interesting when you have to do stuff like that. You kind of kick yourself like, dang it, why did I cut that so prematurely? So there was a piece that was kind of missing on that right side, so I'm just going to add it with another scrap, and you can't even really tell when you're looking at the layout. So that works out just fine. So I'm going to cut that piece down there, and then I'm going to glue it all onto this yellow background paper, and that is from Hello Gorgeous. I don't remember what the name of the paper was, but I know it was from Hello Gorgeous. It's a really pretty yellow pattern. I was trying to see if I could cover the whole photos with that floral paper, but it's just not going to work out. Here I'm trying to go back to that yellow paper that didn't have a pattern on it. It was just a cardstock yellow. I'm not going to end up liking that, so I'm going to just go with this yellow paper. So this is also actually, I kind of incorporated 2 challenges because of how many challenges there are out there. I'm trying to do 2 challenges at once. So this is the 7 Scrappy Ladies challenge, but then also paper issues. And so I participated in the scrap soup for the month of June, which calls for 5 circles, 4 pattern papers, 3 embellishments, 2 photos, and 1 title. So that is the reason why I picked out these 2 photos. And then I'm kind of cheating on this one. So I am definitely using more than 5 circles on this layout. So I kind of hope that's okay for the paper issues challenge, but I'm going to say it is. So I'm just using this stencil, which has a ton of circles on it, and I just want it to be peeking out just a little bit. So here I'm doing just a little bit more on the top and the bottom, and then that's going to work out perfect. And I really like the way that that looks. I considered doing like a paint, like shimmers or something like that, but in the end I decided to go with just inking it. Okay, so now I'm looking for some more pattern papers because I only have 3 pattern papers here right now, and I need 4. So I pulled out that plaid, and I was thinking maybe I'll use that, but then I decide no, I don't really like that. I don't want to add more, so I'm just going to end up gluing it down so that I don't keep trying to add more. Now I'm going to add in this 4th pattern. So that is actually the branding strip. So I guess technically it's from the same piece of paper, but it's a different pattern. So I'm calling it my 4th piece of pattern paper. So here I'm just making another little, or a cluster up here. I don't actually have any clusters yet. So I'm using both of the pattern papers that are matted behind the photos. And then here I have a bunch of embellishments and chipboard pieces and everything from the Craft Market collection, which is still one of my most favorite collections of all time. So here you can see I'm just kind of trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I thought this tag that says today is the best kind of day was super cute, and so I'm going to put it up there at the top with that dream big circle. Then here I have this pre-made embellishment that has 2 circles on it, so those are also going to count as, so that I have 2 in that little cluster, and then up at the top there's 1, and then at the bottom there's going to be 2 embellishments. So you can see in the bottom right hand corner I have that chipboard tag, and then I also have those 2 other circle embellishments. So those are going to count as my 5 circles. And then the embellishments that I use are, let's see, so the chipboard tag that's down in the bottom right hand corner, so that's 1, and I need 2 more. And then I use, oh, here you can see, so I'm pulling out some acrylic pieces. So I'm going to use 3 different kinds of acrylic pieces, and that is going to count as my 3 embellishments. And I really, really love these. I got these from Colorcast Designs over National Scrapbook Day weekend. She had a pretty good sale going on, and so I bought a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to glue those down. You do have to peel off the backing, which is sometimes kind of hard, but they came off kind of easy. So now I'm just going to glue all of those pieces down, and the outline hearts are kind of tricky to get done, but I was able to get it done. And then the color brown is actually in that cluster with the hearts. It's that little tag. I'm kind of cheating again. It's not actually brown, it's craft, but hey, craft brown, same thing, right? I'm gonna say it's the same thing. So now here I glued down that tag up at the top, and then that circle that says dream big, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, I do my title, I forgot, because the Scrap Soup challenge, the paper issues challenge, calls for a title. So at first I was going to just use that tag up at the top that says today is the best kind of day. At first I was thinking that was just going to be my title, but I am going to pull out a white alpha, and I love this alpha. It's so pretty and just simple, and I am going to spell out the title, are the words just waiting. So these photos are pictures of us on our last day of spring break. We live about 3 hours away from Utah, or Salt Lake City, and so we decided to drive down to Farmington, where there is a amusement park called Lagoon. So we went there and spent the whole day there on the last day of spring break, and it was so fun. And then we just drove home when we were done, because I think the park closed, like they opened at 11 and then they closed at 6, so we pretty much were there from 11 to 6, so we definitely got our money's worth that day. So these are just some cute photos of us waiting in line. And so the first photo is of Jonas, Brennan, and me waiting in line at one of the roller coasters. And the second photo of me and Tinian is us waiting in line to go through the Haunted Mansion little ride, which is one of those cheesy little kid rides. But my husband had always wanted to ride on it, and they never got a chance to when he was a kid. And so he was so excited to be able to go. And it did not live up to expectations, he said. Which really isn't that surprising, right? When you're a kid, you make everything out to be Awesome, right? Anyway, that is the end of my layout. Make sure you head on over to the other ladies' videos. I will have links below, and have a great scrappy weekend. Bye!